What's happening? So it's been a month. I know the last episode I said that I'm trying to try and do it every other week, but life happens. But there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. A few things that are on my mind. A lot of this stuff comes to me when just either when I'm at work and you hear something, and then it kind of makes me start thinking like, yeah, why is that? Or something that irritates me, and I don't understand why that it happens. It seems to be so simple that it shouldn't be happening. But anyway, there's a few things that I want to touch on. The first thing I want to talk about is accountability. One of the things that I hear all the time is like, when are they going to start holding people accountable? How come, all these terrible things or these shitty things happen on the fire ground? People aren't following the policies. When are we going to start holding people accountable? And to an extent, they're 100% correct. But what I find amusing is the moment that you try to hold that particular person accountable for something they did, they get mad. So it's a two-way street. If you're going to hold everybody accountable, then that's just it. You hold everybody accountable. Now, policies are there for a reason. And it's important that we ensure that we follow the policies. Whether you like the policy or not, most organizations that I've been around, most organizations that I know about, when they put policies together, it's not created in a vacuum. Usually these policies are created, if it's a combination system, meaning career and volunteer, you have input from both sides. And then they come together with a consensus, they hash it out, and then they put the policies together. So at the end of the day, when all else fails, you follow the policies. And if you don't, as a leader of an organization, instead of flying off the handle, you ask the question, why did they do something that they did? If the answer is not up to snuff, then you correct that action. Or in the future, this is what we're going to do. Here's my expectations. But you got to hold people accountable. I've said it many times. The hardest thing that you can do as an officer or a chief officer in the fire department is not only holding people accountable, but discipline. Discipline is one of the hardest things that we do. And a lot of people kind of scratch their head when I say that. And I said, think about it. How hard is it to write somebody up for something that they did, which was really good? It's very easy. They did something great on a call. The unit, the apparatus, the people that are on the apparatus did something good on a call. An individual did something good on a call. It's very easy to praise. But when you have to discipline somebody, there's a lot of moving parts. You have to have documentation. It has to have been a pattern. I mean, unless it was something that was egregious and happened right then and there. But what ends up happening is, because it's difficult to discipline people, we just let stuff slide. And that just creates for a crappy workforce. It creates could create a hostile workforce. It definitely creates for, morale going in the toilet. So it all comes back to accountability. You have to hold somebody accountable when they do something wrong. Doesn't matter what color shirt or how many bugles they have on their collars. If they do something wrong, somebody has to hold somebody accountable so that people understand that this is not the behavior that we're going to tolerate. And if you allow that behavior to continue, then it's just going to get worse and worse. And people are going to start to see, well, how much more can I get away with? How much more can I get away with, until somebody finally explodes. But, officers, chiefs, leaders of organizations, hold your people accountable if they do something wrong. Make sure that they understand that that is not the behavior that you're looking for. And how are you going to rectify that from happening in the future? Hold your people accountable. And you'll find that it's going to be very easy that once a few people recognize that we're going to hold people accountable to the rules, to the policies, you'll find that people are going to start following the policies. So anyway, moving on from that, we talked a little bit about policies. They're there for a reason. I always laugh and say, when people say like, well, that's a dumb policy. And I kind of chuckle and say, well, obviously it was a necessity for it to be written, because somebody did something that instituted somebody needed to write that policy. So it may sound stupid, but somebody tried to do something that we actually had to have something in writing for. But at the end of the day, especially if you are on the fire ground, you're running fire calls, when all else fails, you follow the policy. If you don't follow the policy and you try to make it up as you go, which you can, but we'll talk about that in a second, then it's freelancing. And you're going to have other units confused. They're not going to be doing what they're supposed to be doing because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now, can you change the policy? Can you change up on the policy if it dictates that what you have is not going to fit in the box of the policy that's written? 100%. But you need to make sure that when you do it, it's communicated to all people so they understand that we're deviating from the policy and this is what we're doing, and somebody else needs to pick up this particular end because we're not going to be able to do that. But at the end of the day, if nobody says anything on the radio, you follow the policy. There's one thing that we have it written in the policies of the jurisdiction that I used to work for, where I volunteer, where I work now, where other people work. I've talked to them. The bidding on calls where I'm going to be closer. I'm going to want to bid on the call. I want to go on the call. We get it. Everybody wants to run the fire call. But when you start having 4, 5, 6 units that are bidding on a call while units are going down the road, it distracts from our situational awareness. I've always been of the mindset that when I was a battalion chief where I used to work, I would tell the guys, if you're not going to be first or second due, stay the hell off the radio. I don't want you bidding on the call. End of story. And if you did say you were going to be first or second due, you better damn sure arrive first or second due, because if you don't, that's a whole nother conversation that we're going to have. But this bidding on calls, I'm 15 seconds closer than this person, or I'm turning the block and that person's behind me, so I'm going to take first. That just screws up the entire operations. A chief, a friend of mine used to say, do your due. That means do the job of the assignment that you were dispatched for. Whatever due. If you first due, you do first due assignment. Your second due, do second due assignment. Stop trying to take other people's assignments just because you're 6.7 milliseconds ahead of somebody else. It's just asinine. Follow the policy. Plain and simple. The last thing I want to talk about is this is June, and I don't give a crap what organizations try to hijack June. Bottom line, it's Men's Mental Health Month, period. People might call me a hater. I don't care. I don't care about whatever your ideology is or what you think June is. June is Men's Mental Health Month, period, end of story. And nobody's going to hijack that. So it's important that people understand that men suffer. As men, I'm a man, we hold in our feelings. We hold in what's bothering us. We don't want to burden other people with how we are feeling of what's going on. We don't reach out for help. We just hold stuff in. We try to toe the line. As firefighters, our job is to help other people. Our job is to fix other people's problems. We don't want to burden people with our own problems. But inside, men are suffering in silence. And, it's men are more apt to commit suicide than the women. You need to take a check. If you're not doing right, if you're not feeling right, if something doesn't feel right, you need to get help. You need to man up and ask for help. For the supervisors that are out there, you always hear, well, I take care of my people. I take care of my people. Now it's time to prove it. If something doesn't look right, if somebody's not acting right on your shift, pull them aside. Talk to them privately. Ask them if everything's okay. Make sure that they're looking you in the eye. Tell them they can trust you. You should already have that bond of trust as an officer or a mentor or a leader of the organization. You should already have that bond of trust that they know they can talk to you. If you don't, you're doing it wrong, and you need to figure that out, because you see, especially when we're on shift work, we see these people every third day for 24 hours. We know when there's a slight issue in their personality, or if something's not right, or if they're a little off. It is our obligation as leaders of the department, it is our obligations as shift mates to make sure that we're doing okay. And if they're not, then you get them the help that they need. If you're a firefighter and you notice that somebody else has a problem, and if you don't feel like you can talk to that person, go to the officer. Talk to the officer. We have to care about each other. As men, we hold things in. We don't go to the doctor like we're supposed to. Hell, we wouldn't get a physical if it wasn't part of our job. If it was just voluntary to go get a physical every year, we'd never get a physical. So at the end of the day, we need to be taking care of each other. And if you find yourself in crisis and you don't feel like you can talk to anybody, whether it's in your family or anybody at work, 988. That's the number to dial. That's a 24-hour crisis mental health line and suicide prevention line. 988. Don't hesitate to call. Believe me, this world's much better with you in it than not in it. So that's what I want to leave you guys with. Please look after your people. Men, stop holding everything in. It's okay to ask for help. We are the ones that help people. We need to be able to ask for help. Please. That's all I got to say about that. And that's how I'm going to end this. So until next time, take care of each other, follow the policies, hold your people accountable if they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Start that initial discipline, whether it be writing things down, keeping notes, things like that. All right. That way, when we run into an issue, we have things that are documented. Let's hope that it doesn't have to get to the discipline route. You should be talking to your people anyway. And above all, it's June. It's Men's Mental Health Month. Take care of your people. Take a good look at them. Don't be afraid to have those hard conversations. And if you're suffering inside and you don't know who to talk to, 988. That's the number to call. Please take care of each other. Take care of yourself. And remember, do better, suck less.